You have held this block 1,000 times. Silver foil, cool to the touch. 3 ingredients on the label: milk, cream, salt. But here is something that might surprise you. Cream cheese is one of the hardest cheeses in the world to produce. Almost every other cheese uses rennet to solidify. Cream cheese does not. It relies on lactic acid bacteria alone to turn liquid into a solid. And if those bacteria are not killed at precisely the right moment, the cheese reliquefies. Producers have a word for it: explosiveness. This is how milk becomes the most deceptively difficult dairy product in your refrigerator, and why the name on that silver block has been fiction since 1880. Here is why that matters. In rennet-based cheeses, the enzyme grabs casein proteins and locks them into a stable matrix. Cream cheese skips that entirely. Lactic acid bacteria lower the pH, and as acidity rises, proteins lose their charge and clump together. The milk gels. But there is a narrow window. If bacteria keep producing acid past pH 4.4, the proteins flip charge. The gel collapses. The cheese returns to liquid. The cheesemaker must kill the bacteria by heating to between 52 and 63 degrees Celsius at exactly the right moment. The FDA allows a pH between 4.4 and 4.9. That range is the entire margin for error. The parent cheese is Neufchâtel, one of the oldest in France, traced back nearly 1,000 years to Neufchâtel-en-Brie, made from raw cow milk, ripened 6 to 8 weeks, soft rind like brie, subtle mushroom aroma, looks and tastes nothing like the block in your refrigerator. In 1872, a dairy farmer named William Lawrence bought a Neufchâtel factory in Chester, New York. A grocer in the city asked him for something richer. Lawrence added cream to his recipe, more fat, smoother, denser. He called it cream cheese. His creamery produced 2 boxes a day. By the time he died in 1911, that factory shipped over 2,000 boxes daily. Here is the thing nobody tells you. In the 1870s, making cream cheese was a gamble. Lawrence clotted casein using both lactic acid and rennet. He fermented until the pH dropped below 4.6, then poured curds into cloth bags, tied them shut, and hung them to drain. When the texture was too coarse, he forced the curds through a meat grinder. Every batch risked crumbling apart or turning sour. No pasteurization, no refrigeration. Temperature control meant guessing. The modern process starts the same way, with milk and cream arriving at the plant. But what happens next would be unrecognizable to Lawrence. The milk is pasteurized at 72 to 75 degrees Celsius for 15 to 20 seconds. Starter cultures containing lactic acid bacteria go into the mix. Fermentation begins at 20 to 30 degrees Celsius. Over several hours, the bacteria convert lactose into lactic acid. The pH drops, the milk thickens, a faint tang develops. What started as white liquid now looks like a soft, trembling gel. Then comes the moment that has not changed in 150 years. The bacteria must be killed at precisely the right point. Too early, the gel is too soft. Too late, the proteins flip charge. The cheese reliquefies. No second chance. The mixture is heated to 80 to 90 degrees Celsius to lock the texture. Whey separates out. Then it passes through a homogenizer, the modern replacement for Lawrence's meat grinder, which forces curds into a smooth paste. Stabilizers go in. Carrageenan and carob bean gum give the cheese structural integrity. Without them, cream cheese falls apart in a cheesecake. The rectangular block only became possible after stabilizers were added in the late 1920s. Before that, cream cheese came in circular discs. The brick is not a design choice, it is a chemistry achievement. The finished cheese is cooled and packaged into foil-wrapped blocks. But the science is not settled. At the University of Wisconsin-Madison, researcher Mercedes Briganti has studied cream cheese for over 15 years, currently testing whether whey cream could replace Lawrence's original sweet cream blend. After 150 years, the formula is still being rewritten. And when the process fails, the consequences are real. In early 2026, a New York producer recalled 14 varieties of cream cheese after listeria was found on a mixer component. The FDA classified it as Class 1, the highest risk level. 5-pound tubs had been sold to bagel shops and bodegas across Brooklyn, Queens, and the Bronx. Cream cheese demands precision. When it slips, the margin disappears. Here is where the story flips. Philadelphia cream cheese has never been manufactured in Philadelphia. Not once. In 1880, a cheese distributor named Alva Reynolds began selling Lawrence's cream cheese from Chester, New York. He chose the name Philadelphia purely because the city had a reputation for high-quality dairy, branding, zero geography. By the end of that year, demand was so high that Reynolds contracted a second dairyman to supply more product. The brand was never tied to one factory from the start. It was marketing from day one. Arizona iced tea was created in Brooklyn. Texas Roadhouse started in Indiana. Haagen-Dazs is a made-up word invented in the Bronx. Philadelphia cream cheese fits right in. A name designed to sell, not to describe. In 1882, Lithuanian Jewish immigrants Joseph and Isaac Breakstone, originally Bregstein, opened a dairy store on the Lower East Side. By 1907, they manufactured from a plant in Brooklyn. In 1925, Breakstones designated its products kosher and ran Yiddish ads urging readers to use their cream cheese in traditional dishes. Then came the convergence nobody planned: Polish-Jewish bread, Scandinavian cured salmon, Anglo-French cream cheese. All three came together in New York in the late 1920s. None arrived from Eastern Europe as a set. In 1929, Arnold Rubin introduced cheesecake made with cream cheese at his Manhattan restaurant. Lawrence's company became Phoenix. Phoenix merged with Kraft in 1928. The only real physical connection between cream cheese and Philadelphia sits inside the Weitzman National Museum of American Jewish History on Independence Mall. Breakstone dairy containers, donated by Rabbi Jeffrey Marks. Marks, a retired rabbi from Santa Monica, spent a decade researching what he thought would be a footnote in a family genealogy. It became the definitive history of cream cheese in America. In Spain and Mexico, Philadelphia is cream cheese, not a brand, a generic noun, the way Xerox became photocopying. Philadelphia holds roughly 70% of the branded cream cheese market in the United States. In 1889, cream cheese cost 30 cents per pound, 7 cents more than Parmesan. Never cheap cheese. You have been holding a product that is not simple, not from where it says, and not eaten the way its inventor intended. The silver block is an accident of chemistry, branding, and immigration that nobody designed. Next time you peel back that foil, 150 years of bacterial precision, a name that was fiction from the start, and cultures that met by accident. That is the process. We reveal how things actually work one story at a time. If there is something you would like us to explore next, let us know. Until then, trust the process.